Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
But in the kingdom, we're going to have that power like the angels, but we're going to be what you call extraterrestrial. In other words, we're not going to be regular terrestrial like we are right now. Because what happened is, in the ancient world, we had that power. We had that power when we were on a level like gods. But what happened is, the Most High took that power from us. Over the generations and over the years, the Lord
said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord. But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
When we think about the kingdom, most brothers think of like the small, minute terms. But the vastness of the kingdom, the greatness of the kingdom, dealing with the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and the information alone that we're going to receive when we get to the kingdom. That's on a whole nother level. Never mind the riches and the lands and the women and the children and, to be in your chariot, sipping some yayan, on your chalice, your gold chalice with all them rubies and emeralds and sapphires and, the different precious stones, going to places.
But as it is written, eye hath not seen, but God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
No one, no matter how vivid a brother's imagination is, there's nothing in comparison to what's coming. You can't even imagine. You can't even paint into picture or write into words or give an explanation that even comes close to the majesty that's coming. We are destined for greatness in the new righteous kingdom.
But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
The brother with the most vivid imagination out there can't imagine what the kingdom of heaven has in store, what it's going to be like. What we're basing the kingdom of heaven as far as riches and having a good time and things of that nature is just based off of our experiences in this world and what we think having a good time is and living the life is. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. There are pleasures forevermore at thy right hand. So the kingdom that's coming is going to be set up and established in righteousness. The Israelites are going to be changed. Thy people shall be all righteous. Not one Israelite is going to be lost, because the promise that the Most High made to Abraham was to all that seed. And the seed of the promise went from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. Every seed that came out of Jacob is a part of the ones that are going to receive the benefits that the Most High promised to blessed Abraham.
The transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down. According to the Holy Scriptures, Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, is set to bring immortality to the nation of Israel, the elect, via establishing the tabernacle of David, as we talk about the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He is coming to take down this current world ruled by Esau, Edom, and establish a righteous kingdom, which is synonymous with the throne of David. That's scriptural, which is a government that's going to run this world in righteousness.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect out there, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. And what I want to get into this morning, is dealing with, all right, AI, is their future. Okay. And is what we're seeing, all right, as the scriptures say, to be on our watch. All right. The spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, has his men, okay, on watch. Okay. Well, we're seeing that these devils, they're going all in with AI. Okay, this is what, their hope is in, all right, which is the work of their own hands. Okay, and this is just nothing but the latest example, okay, of a heathen, all right, Esau, Edom, trusting in his idols. Okay, and he's going to be disappointed, okay, because this devil, the Most High had this man, deceived, all right, and Esau, he really thinks he's on to something, because the thing about, the idols of the ancient world, the Most High, would mock them, and say that those idols, couldn't move, okay, couldn't speak, couldn't hear, okay. And this devil, the Lord has allowed him to tap into AI. So now he has his idol, they can move, they can speak, they can hear, you can talk to it, it can respond, okay, which is operating off, the intelligence, okay, of people, of human intelligence. All right. But Esau, the Lord has allowed this man to harness, a system to where, he can make his idol talk and speak and hear. Okay. So in his mind, he's made some leeway. Okay. In his mind, all right, he's on to something. He's cracked some type of code. Okay. And this is how this devil is thinking. And just as we said, what you treasure, all right, where your heart is at, that's what your treasure is going to be. Okay, so this devil, he's all in. Okay, and he's all in with this AI, which is a major part of this MOTB infrastructure. Okay, because when you're, all right, when people take to see him, they're going to be directly tied into this AI infrastructure, man. Okay, so let's go into the book of Sirach 19 and 22. This is Sirach 19 and 22. It says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time, all right, the counsel of sinners prudence. Because this is not wise what the devil is trying to put off. Okay, and he jumps on camera. Is this just the best idea ever invented by man? It's the best, creation invented was this AI. Okay, but this is not wise. This is not true wisdom. Okay, because you look at the data center, how much harm and hurt data centers does to the ecosystem and to the environment, and you look at the concept and the way how this man utilizes AI, the harm it does to people's cognitive, capabilities, man. People's ability for critical thinking, problem solving, skills. Basic human skills are being diminished as this AI is being implemented. Okay, because he's boasting how smart his AI is becoming. Okay, but he's not telling you how dumb it's making people. Okay, so what we're seeing is this man, trying to present, all right, his wickedness and this terrible, idea of a new world order. He's trying to present it in some form of high level wisdom, man, which that's what it's not. Okay, and I want to go here, and I got a few videos I want to get into because this is this man. He's battling because the scriptures say that that the Lord will have war. Matter of fact, let's get there real quick. Okay, let's get there real quick in Exodus. Okay, then we'll get that Isaiah 19. And I'm about to will segue to some videos, but you get this in Exodus 17. Okay, and 16. All right. And it says, for he said, because the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shah has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay, from generation to generation. All right, there will be war between the Most High and Amalek. Now, Amalek, he's not able to, wage a literal war. Okay, as if he's able to go into the heavens and cause harm. No. Okay, is he able to go in the spirit world and cause harm? No. Okay, but the aspect, of Amalek, which is the chief of Esau, Edom, because they're at the forefront of this new world order, which is complete rebellion against righteousness, man. Okay, and these devil wage war with the Most High by waging war on life, on creation. Okay, so him, coming up with AI and building these robots, and he's demonizing humans, man. This new world order is anti-human, anti-life, anti-creation. Okay, and in his mind, this is just the beginning. In Esau's mind, this is just the beginning of him re-engineering, creation, saying, look, I'm making it better. Okay, this is him waging war against the creation. Look, I'm taking creation, I'm taking it over, and I'm doing it how I want to do it, and I'm gonna make it better. Okay, this is this man's boast, and this is him being at war, with the Heavenly Father is being at war with creation, which is of Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shah. Okay, so this is a major thing that this devil is doing, man. This is a major act of war, man. And this is why eventually the Lord is going to respond, through plagues, leading up to the nukes and leading up to Yahweh Shah. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go here in Isaiah 19. Okay, Isaiah 29. So like in verse 15, it says, woe unto them, that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, which for the longest they've been in secret with this. Okay, and as they're getting ready to implement it, things are coming out. As the scriptures say, when he will get, close to pulling this off, he will be revealed. Then shall that wicked be revealed. Okay, so these secret councils that they've been having to establish this anti-Messiah, satanic new world order. Well, now these things, are being revealed. Everything's being brought to the forefront. It says, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us. Okay, so for the longest, they've been having this in the works. They've been social engineering the masses to accept this. Okay, accept this new order to be rebellious against righteousness, to be rebellious against the Most High. Okay, and His Son. All right, Yahweh Shai. Okay, and they've been doing this in the shadows, man. Through psyops. Okay, through chemical warfare. Through the food, through like psychological warfare, through the music and media. All right, through the indoctrination of the schools. So they've been in the background behind all these entities. Okay, behind all these different entities that people have to deal with on a day to day. Okay, and they've been at war with the masses weakening them for this new world order. Okay, but the Lord has brought everything to the light, man, beginning with the ministry of the prophets. Okay, it says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, man. This is a very backward society, man. This man runs a backwards. Everything is completely backwards, man. Okay, a completely backward system. The way society operates is completely backwards, man, due to this devil social engineer. And this is him being at war against righteousness, man. Okay, whatever the Most High has established as righteous, okay, this man goes the exact opposite. He does the exact opposite. Whatever the Most High establishes as the right way, all right, he goes and establishes the exact opposite, okay, as a standard in his society. Okay. And this is what we're dealing with. You see, and he wants to double down on that with a digital system and pull people even farther away from righteousness, man. Okay. It says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not. And see, Esau operates as if he wasn't created. Okay, Esau operates like he is, like he is everlasting. The pride on Esau, see, the pride of Esau is different from the other heathen. Okay, and that's why he's isolated when it comes to the judgment amongst all these other heathens, man. That's why eventually he's going to be eradicated, because he has such a rebellious, proud spirit, okay, against the Most High. Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding. And the way that this man is trying to re-engineer creation, he's telling the Most High is if the Most High lacked in understanding. Okay, when you go to Genesis, all right, the creation story, what you're going to get into, and then Donald Trump just passed a bill. Okay, Donald Trump just passed a bill. Okay, called what? The Genesis, which is about Ford and AI, because these devils are saying, look, we're going to redo Genesis. Okay, this is Genesis 2 for us. Okay, we're going to recreate everything. In our creation, we're right. You see, when you go into the Bible, this devil is condemned. The beloved brother Nabah, our Captain Nabah, made that point when we were doing the live stream yesterday, that the devil wants a new existence to where he's right. He's not condemned, because in the Bible, okay, he's condemned. You see, but he wants to create something new to where he's not condemned. He's right. He's the good guy. Okay, so we're seeing, okay, this devil. Matter of fact, let's get that in the NLT. Okay, we're seeing this devil try to reinvent everything. Okay, that's why he's trying to get into this last juice. Is based on mRNA. He's trying to change what it is to be a human, man. He wants to change your DNA. He wants to get into your, that's why he got a thing called neuroscience, where he studies the brain. He wants to rearrange your mind and how that thinks, your spirit. He wants to rearrange everything. Okay, as if the Most High was lacking in understanding. Okay, when he utilized Yahweh Shai and the Elohim in the beginning to create everything, man. Okay, Isaiah 29:16 said, "How foolish can you be? He is the potter, and he is certainly greater than you, the clay." Okay, so how foolish can Esau be to think that he can create something greater than what was created from the beginning? And this is what he's boasting in. All right, and man, his main boast in his AI. Oh, humans won't be able to keep up. AI is outpacing the humans. Yeah, they're gonna have to merge with machine to keep up. Okay, there's him boasting like, look, I can create better. I can create greater than was at the beginning. That's why his whole thing is what transcended, going into meta, which goes into transcendent. Okay, it says should the created thing say of the one who made it, he didn't make me. Does a jar ever say the potter who made me is stupid? Okay, the jar can't respond to the potter. Okay, but Esau is responding to his maker. Okay, he's scribing with what we're seeing is the devil scribe with his maker, man. I believe that's Isaiah 45. Okay, which we'll get it. But let's go here. Okay, let's go here. Let's get a couple of these videos because see, you're gonna see people be less relevant in this man's all right system as we transition in. All right, this devil, is attempting to transition to a new world order. People are going to be made less relevant. Okay, because his boast is he can make something better. He looks at humans as the creation of the old world. Okay, but AI and robots and this is the creation of his world. So he's going to constantly diminish the value of people. Okay, and he's going to exalt the value of his technology, man. Okay, so let's go here. The brother sent me this. Here we go. Yep. Which this old Bernie Sanders. All right. Which this nigga's an old demon. Okay, but you have to control opposition to give you people false hope. So they allowed to have certain talking points. Okay, speak some truths and things that make sense, but ultimately it's all control opposition. But we take we extrapolate certain truths and edify. Okay, so let's play this. Okay.
Thanks very much for joining me. In the midst of these unprecedented and crazy times, government shutdown, Trump's devastation of healthcare in America, climate change, the move toward authoritarianism, the horrific war in Gaza, the growth of oligarchy, etc., etc., etc. I want to take a few minutes talking about another issue of enormous consequence that just doesn't get the kind of attention I think it deserves. Everybody agrees that artificial intelligence, AI, and robotics are going to have a transformative impact on our country and the world. There is very little disagreement about that. There are, however, very strong disagreements as to what those impacts will be, who will benefit from these changes, and who will be hurt. So here is my take. Some of the very wealthiest people in the world, including Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and others, are now investing.
And these are not the wealthiest people in the world. Okay, these are just the underlings of the elites. Okay, these are just another characters that they give you to argue about. Okay, while they roll out this new system. Okay, Jeff Bezos and they're all part of these wicked bloodlines of these Edomites. Okay, a lot of them, all of them I think linked to DARPA. Okay, which is a branch of the government. Okay, in charge of military technology. Okay, and they've infiltrated the private sector, through these businesses called Amazon and Google and Facebook. Okay, but it's all military technology, surveillance, okay, data sharing, okay, facial recognition is all military technology, man. AI, okay. So DARPA has infiltrated all these private sector, or where they've set up, you know, these private sector corporations, okay, and they give you these stories of these are the richest men, so you think it stops there, man, but it goes beyond them. All right, this goes into these elite banking families, all right, who's setting up a digital technocracy right before your eyes, man. Okay,
Investing hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars into these revolutionary, transformative technologies. Now, why is that? Why are they doing that? Is it because they want to improve the standard of living of the 60% of our people who live paycheck to paycheck? Americans who are struggling to pay for groceries, healthcare, housing, education? Maybe. Maybe they are staying up nights worrying about the working families of America. But I doubt it. I think it's because investing in AI and robotics will increase their already incredible wealth and power exponentially. Among other impacts, the artificial intelligence and robotics being developed by these multi-billionaires will allow corporate America to wipe out tens of millions of decent paying jobs, cut labor costs, and boost profits. The result? The wealthiest people in the world will get even richer while working families lose their jobs and their income. And unless we act, here is, in my view, I don't claim to have all the answers, but in my view, this is what is likely to happen in the next 10 years. Now, as a member of Congress who vigorously opposed the disastrous trade agreements that decimated communities throughout this country, I, like most Americans, want to see manufacturing rebuilt in the United States of America. But let us be clear. New factories won't mean much for working people if the jobs are done by robots instead of human beings. Elon Musk has said he wants Tesla to build millions of robots. And what will these robots do? Well, obviously, they will replace the men and women working in our factories, warehouses, and in restaurants and in other areas. That means millions of good jobs could disappear. It's not very complicated. And of course, it's not just Musk. Amazon, owned by Jeff Bezos, has already laid off 27,000 workers since 2022. The company now has more than 1 million robots working in its warehouses, and soon these robots will outnumber human workers in Amazon facilities. In 2016, Foxconn, the massive manufacturing contractor for companies like Apple and Google, replaced 60,000 workers in a single huge factory in China with robots. Now, the company is planning fully automated factories. And just a few months ago, Foxconn CEO Young Liu predicted that artificial intelligence will make it unnecessary for large corporations to outsource jobs to low-wage countries. You know why? Because robots will be doing most of the manufacturing work. However, it is not just manufacturing jobs at risk. Most of us want to see the United States develop a strong, clean, and efficient transportation system, including the production of millions of new cars, buses, and trucks. But if Musk and others get their way, those vehicles won't be operated by truck drivers, bus drivers, or taxi drivers. They will be driverless vehicles. Millions of jobs in transportation will be eliminated. This is not science fiction. It's already happening. FedEx is using driverless trucks to haul heavy loads along the I-45 corridor between Dallas and Houston through a company called Aurora. Walmart is using autonomous trucks for short-haul deliveries in Arkansas through a company called Gatic. Kodiak Robotics has partnered with IKEA to conduct driverless deliveries in Texas. Waymo is operating self-driving cabs in Los Angeles, Phoenix, San Francisco, Atlanta, and Austin.
They're rolling it out, man. Okay? They're rolling it out. Okay? While people are arguing and distracted, they're rolling these things out. Okay? The devil is all gas, man. Okay? And they're constantly investing hundreds of billions into AI. Okay? No matter what's going on with the economy, no matter what's going on with war, no matter what's going on with the government shutdown, there's never no stop when it comes. There's no expense being spared when it comes to AI. Okay, you're sitting there arguing for a month about, the food stamps. They arguing for a month and a half over $9 billion, to fund food stamps, but they're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on AI, no matter what's going on or what they have people distracted with. All right, there's no expense being spared when it comes to AI. This is what they're all in. They think they're on to something. Okay, and with AI, these devils think this is their way, all right, to sidestep and change, prophecy, man, in their favor. Okay, this man's is hardened. Okay, I believe that's in if a brother want to get there for me in the book of Sirach. Okay, if a brother want to get that in the book of Sirach 16. Okay, well, we're seeing when the scriptures speak about Pharaoh being hardened, well, we're seeing it with the new Pharaoh, Esau. Okay, he's hardened. His mind is made up that this is his way. All right, this is his opportunity, okay, to beat the odds, okay, which is the will of the Lord. Okay, so the brother can post on Sirach 16 and 15, Bob Kashaw. Sirach 16 and 15. Okay. And also, we can get that in Exodus too. Exodus 9 and Exodus 9 and 16 as well. Exodus chapter 9. Yep. Let's get Exodus chapter 9, verses 15 through 17, Baba Shah. So let's read this real quick. This is the brother Mark Assad. Okay. It says the Lord, hardened Pharaoh. This is Rock 16 and 15. It said the Lord hardened Pharaoh that he should not know him. Okay, and Esau is hard. All right, and he doesn't want to be familiar with the Most High. He wants to do his own thing. His mind is geared towards what he wants to do. Okay, so you're going to see this infrastructure roll out. This man is all in. He's hardened. Okay, he don't care what nobody's talking about. He don't care about who's suffering. He don't care about this, that, the economy. He don't care about niggas starving. He don't care about that. He's finna roll this out. He don't care what it costs. He don't care about the data center, how it affects the environment. Okay, he doesn't care about your electricity bill going up. This nigga is hard, man. Okay, it said that he should not know him. All right, that his powerful works might be known to the world. Okay, so the Lord has this man hardened so the Lord can showcase power. Okay, just as he did Pharaoh. You see? And like I say, if a brother can post it in cause we can get 16 too, but Bob Shah, bro, if you can post 15 and 17 as well. 15 and 17. Okay. You see? And we'll get there. I'm gonna play this. We'll come back to the Exodus Bob Shah. But let's play this some more.
We all want to see more startup companies and small businesses. But for workers, that will mean very little if half of all white-collar entry-level jobs are eliminated over the next 5 years. And that is exactly what has been predicted by Dario Amodei, the founder of Anthropic, one of the leading AI companies in the world. As the ranking member of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, I just released a report finding that AI, automation, and robotics could replace nearly 100 million jobs in America over the next decade, including 40% of registered nurses, 47% of truck drivers, 64% of accountants, 65% of teaching assistants, and 89% of fast food workers, among many other occupations.
And they just reduce, all right, the different nursing degrees to non-professional, which eliminates them from being eligible for certain grants and loans, okay, dealing with school. Okay. This man, he's trimming away at what you call the human factor. Okay. The human factor. He wants to take away the human factor away, okay, from life, man, and establish his creation as a standard. Okay. Through AI. You see?
And as bad as that may seem, I'm afraid it could be an underestimate. In June, the CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, predicted that AI could eliminate, quote, literally half of all white-collar jobs in the US, end quote, within the next decade. That's Jim Farley, Ford. Elon Musk said this year that as a result of AI and robotics, quote, probably none of us will have a job. If you want a job, that's kind of like a hobby. You can do a job. But otherwise, AI and robotics will provide any goods and services you want, end of quote. Earlier this year, Bill Gates predicted that humans, quote, won't be needed for most things, end quote, such as manufacturing products, delivering packages, or growing food over the next decade due to AI. So, my friends, here is a rather big question. If Musk and Gates and others are only half right in their predictions, what happens to the tens of millions of Americans who no longer have employment because they can't find jobs that don't exist? In this brave new world, how do these Americans pay for healthcare, food, housing, and the other necessities of life? But it's not just economic.
And they plan on getting rid of a lot of people, all right, because there's a depopulation, agenda, in the mix as well, all right, and they don't tell you about that part, okay, about how the devil plans on depopulating, all right, as they transition into this new world order. So let's go here, go ahead and get this other video, because see, as this is them devaluing humans, which ultimately this is them boasting that they created something better than what the Most High has created. Okay, and you people that trust in this system, man, the system, okay, is shitting on you on a whole nother level. Okay, you trusting in this place. Matter of fact, a brother can get that Isaiah 30, okay, and 3. Okay, this is Exodus, and the brother can get that in Sirach 5 and 7 as well. I'm gonna let this play. All right, it says GMS truth abounds, okay, and that's beautiful, because this truth is abounding, and this place is failing, and you people's hope and trust in this place is failing, man. All right, this nigga, he looks at you with less value by the day. Okay, the more advanced he gets within his robotics and AI, and soon as he think AI can replace your ass, gone. Okay, 10,000 fired, 2,600 fired, 48,000 fired. Okay, and this him saying, look, we got something better. Okay, we're greater. We have something greater than what the Most High created. Okay, humans are outdated. We what we've created has transcended humans. Okay, Exodus 9:16 it says, and in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. So Esau's been raised up. He's been, exalted to this status in the earth. He's been allowed to tap into this technology and, information and data, and, he's been able to tap into, the mRNA and the DNA and clone this and GMOs. He can genetically modify organisms. And you see, the Lord has allowed this man to be exalted to this level so the Lord can show his power. He's allowed this man to have his military in the atmosphere. Okay, space stations and satellites and weapons in the atmosphere. Okay, nukes and submarines and aircraft carriers. The Lord has allowed this man to just build up, man. Okay, he just been building up undisturbed for a long time, just so the Lord can showcase power with this nigga, man. So the Lord can show you what he had with it. Okay, this is why we're not amazed at what this nigga got going on. Okay, he's built up just for the Lord to showcase power, man. Okay, so let's get this in Exodus 9:17. It says, as yet exalted thyself, okay, against my people. All right, and this is him boasting, and this is a direct insult to us. Like, look, I got something better than what your God created. Remember, he's at war with the Most High. He can't get to the Most High. He's not a threat to the Most High in any way. Okay, but in his own little arena, he's at war with the Most High through creation, and especially through who? Israel. All right, the Most High's top creation is Israel. Okay, the top men and women in the earth are Israelites. Okay, that's why through the worst circumstances, Israel has their resilience because of how we were created. Okay, that's why the devil has to put extra emphasis on destroying Israel because of how they're created. You see? So as he boasts himself against, as he exalts himself against our people, that thou would not let them go. And see, this whole digital system is about enslavement on another level. Okay, because he's hearing the message about who we are as a people. Okay, just as Moses, let it be known to Pharaoh who we are. Okay, and what did Pharaoh do? He got more proud. Okay, he put more hell on Jake, man. So this devil, with his technology, he's like, look, I'm gonna put more hell on these niggas. Okay, then I'm raised up in my kingdom, talking about, they the rightful heirs and they the children of promise, and like, I'm gonna put more hell on these niggas. That's his spirit. All right, and he plans on doing this through what? AI, digital technocracy, system of complete control. All right, so let's go here because people are complaining about, their degrees. All right, how AI is killing the value of a college degree. Okay, so you people that put your trust in this place and you had high hopes and you worked all your life and you trained for the SAT and the ACT and okay, you went in there and took that long ass goddamn test. Okay, you see, and the AI is devaluing you as you, all right, filling in, as you circling in C, okay, you filling in C with that pencil, all right. This niggas in the lab creating a robot that do what you going to school for, man. Okay, what you paying him, what you going in debt to him to go to school for, he's creating a robot to do it at the same time, man. Okay, so let's play this.
On May 16th, 2025, I woke up and was ready to get into my graduation gown for the day of celebration of Villanova's graduation ceremony. My family and friends came from pretty much across the country to see me walk across the stage and receive my diploma.
Michael, Sean, Matthias.
Yeah, Michael!
I was really on top of the world, super excited to finally have the diploma that shows my hard work over those 4 years. I was super excited to apply those skills to the job market, to an employer, and finally be an independent adult. Flash forward a couple months into the job search, been a little demoralizing. The job market has been very tough, especially for the new grads. I have been on my job search since November 2024. I've been applying anywhere and everywhere, and it has been a little difficult to even get to the initial interviews that I want to get to.
The job market is kind of trash right now. I mean, it's really difficult. It's really difficult for people who have many years of experience. So it's going to be difficult for college kids.
The rise of youth unemployment is worrisome. For the individual worker, we can see that graduating in a recession leaves long-lasting scars for decades after.
These workers are a vital part of the labor market. And if they're having a hard time, that means that the economy could have a hard time.
For the broader economy, these youth workers might be early indicators that the overall economy is slowing down or maybe even heading towards a recession.
For the first time in modern history, a bachelor degree is no longer a reliable path to professional employment.
If you look at the overall labor market, it's still doing strong. Unemployment rates in general are still fairly low.
And and this devil be lying. Because see, here it is, reality tell you something completely different. But this nigga will bring out, the unemployment rate only move, 0.3%. Like, nigga, no. Okay? The job market is trash. Here it is, these people are telling you that they graduated a year ago and can't find employment. Okay? People have put in hundreds of applications and can't find employment. Okay, but this nigga bring out a data to say, oh, the job market only, the economy, unemployment rates only went up 0.3%. Nigga, that's not reality. Okay, that's not matching up with reality, man. Okay, and he's gonna keep bringing these false, data charts to you while he's rolling out this new world order, man. Okay, because the jobs don't exist no more, and these companies are taking away from their capital that they will spend in labor, okay, to invest in AI. You see, not only do they want to free up money, just for profits, but they need to free up capital so they can keep up with the AI. See, these companies are racing to keep up with this age of AI, man. Okay, so they'll downsize to increase their profitability, okay, so they can keep investing into, this evolving economy of AI. Okay, so they're not trying to hire people. Their thing now is to to keep up with the AI research, the AI developments, the AI implication. These companies know where this is headed. All right, and they don't want to be left behind. Okay, in this new age, okay, of AI automation, man. Okay, so they're not interested in people like that anymore. Okay, but then this nigga give you a chart and say, oh, unemployment rates only went up 0.3%. They don't match reality, man. Okay.
But then when you zoom in on the young workers, they seem to be struggling.
The unemployment rate among young U.S. workers aged 16 to 24 stood at 10.4% in September. It's generally been trending upward since April 2023, when it dipped to the lowest point since the pandemic.
And in particular, there's been a worrisome rise in unemployment rates among recent college graduates. Usually we think of those as being some of the safest workers in our economy, but that pattern seems to be flipping right now.
I think that is because two factors. One is the supply of workers with a bachelor degree is increasing, but at the same time, partly because of AI, the demand for workers with a bachelor degree is not increasing anymore. So we have a glut of people with a bachelor degree. Their wage growth is growing more slowly, and with AI continuing to automate more and more jobs, I expect that the trend to continue.
Artificial intelligence has allowed some corporate giants to hire fewer workers, and some have even begun shrinking their workforces as they integrate more automation. Goldman Sachs says it could displace 6 to 7% of the US workforce over the next decade. Young workers are feeling AI's impact the most. A Stanford study finds that since 2022, unemployment for 22 to 25-year-olds in highly AI-exposed jobs has dropped 13%, while older workers and those in less exposed roles remain steady or growing.
I think AI and machine learning is absolutely taking entry-level careers from new graduates like myself. From a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. You get something that can produce results a lot quicker. I really can't blame employers for making those steps, in my mind, the right direction to save money, cut costs. But it's a little frustrating from my standpoint because I'm looking for a full-time career somewhere to really put my skills to work.
Especially for larger corporations that are trying to go through AI transformation. Some of it could be tied to AI from a perspective of they're trying to let go of people in other departments so that they can invest more in AI. But at the same time, I think what's also happening is the AI systems that can write code, especially at junior level, has gotten really good. And because of that, we are already seeing, especially in tech companies, there's the need for a number of junior engineers has gotten lower.
The Federal Reserve has also taken notice.
You see a significant number of companies either announcing that they are not going to be doing much hiring or actually doing layoffs. Much of the time they're talking about AI and what it can do. So we're watching that very carefully.
But there is another element here, which is more and more young people are going to college, and at a much higher rate than the baby boomers who are now retiring. So what's happening is that the workforce is becoming more and more educated over time. And perhaps to the degree that we have a glut of college grads,
AI might be having a little bit of impact. But I think right now, what's really driving a lot of this youth unemployment is the fact that businesses just in general are not bringing on new workers. And so whether you're unemployed or whether you're trying to get in the labor market for the first time, right now is a really difficult time to find a job.
Just a few years ago, many companies, especially tech firms, went on a hiring spree during the pandemic era. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Amazon's workforce ballooned to 1.6 million employees globally in 2021. By 2024, the count had shrunk to 1.5 million, and 2025 is no stranger to layoffs.
Amazon saying this morning it's going to lay off about 14,000 corporate employees as it restructures for the AI era, marking the latest move in a multi-year effort.
Restructuring for the AI era. You got to pay attention to what they're telling you, man. Okay? They're valuing AI over people. See, Esau values his creation, AI, automation, robotics, over people. Okay, and as his AI becomes more capable, okay, he's going to value people less. He already doesn't give a damn about life, okay, especially the poor. Okay, this is a man that don't give a damn. He blames everything on the poor. Okay, so this man is letting you know that they're paving the way, okay, for AI, man. All right, they need these data centers. Okay, they need these resources. Okay, to for the AI infrastructure. Okay, so he looks at if he can get his AI to do the work, he doesn't need people. So he's gonna start depopulating. Okay, so he can free up resources to fuel his AI. Okay, so he wants a system to where you people, all right, work, okay, for AI. Right now, he's selling, all right, this technocracy is his technology working for you. No, he wants you, all right. AI will be AI will have more rights than you. These robots are going to have more rights than you in his new world order. If he was able to set up his new world order and get it running, you would be a second-class citizen to his robots. Okay, this is the devil. Okay, so what we're seeing is, the jobs aren't there. They're graduating to a job market that's shrinking. So you go to college in year one. By the time you graduate, the job market has shrunk tremendously. So what you're going to school for, all right, you got to remember you have graduates coming out every year. So people are going to school more, okay, They're still getting into debt. Okay, but the job market is shrinking, man. He's the devil. Okay? So these people are going to get into debt for nothing, which college has been a scam for, it's been a scam for a long time, but it's much more a scam now. Okay, to where you have more people going to college, okay, while the job market is shrinking, man. Okay. So let's like the brother said, AI gonna graduate before you. Okay? Say why you you see, are you in the classroom, all right, recording these long ass lectures. Okay, AI just learning. Okay, replacing your ass. Okay, and you come out with all that debt. Okay, and that job market has shrunk to where you have all these people. All right, the workforce is saturated with so-called qualified employees. Okay, but those jobs don't exist anymore. Okay, see when let's say you quit a job, they hire somebody in your place. Well, the person they may hire, they might leave and go somewhere else. Well, that job opens back up. Okay, they might call you back. But see, once AI replaced the job, that job ain't opening back up. It's gone forever. All right, AI not quitting. Okay, AI not looking for a better job. Okay, so once AI replaces these jobs, they don't exist anymore. That part of the job market don't exist anymore. Okay, that's what they're not telling you. So let's play a little bit more of this, and then we're gonna segue.
Streamline operations and shift resources toward its biggest bets, including generative AI.
Experts are divided on whether COVID-19.
So yeah, man, they're shifting towards AI, man. These companies are investing in AI. They're not investing in people anymore. People are a thing of the old world. Okay, and that's why you have here Trump. Okay, what did Trump just put into place? Okay, a Genesis. Why is he calling it a Genesis bill? Okay, why are they calling it the Genesis bill? That's why you gotta be spiritual, man. Okay, this is him saying, look, we finna redo this thing from top to bottom. We finna create our own thing outside of everything that was created in Genesis. We finna do something else. Okay, so let's play this.
The president just signed a sweeping executive order launching the Genesis mission, a push to supercharge American artificial intelligence by going all in.
The Genesis mission. Why is this called the Genesis mission, man?
Mobilizing America's labs, scientists, and supercomputers to strengthen national security, tackle rising energy costs, and cement U.S. dominance in AI. Incredibly important.
This is reminiscent of the Manhattan Project that brought World War II to an early and successful end, similar to the Apollo projects that put a man on the moon in 1969. This is an all-in national effort to take the power of AI and pair it with the 40,000 outstanding scientists and engineers at our national labs to use the world's largest supercomputers to advance innovation and science, to fix our rising energy costs.
But today, a new question is emerging. Is America too dependent on AI spending? Fresh analysis shows AI-related investment may have accounted for half of all GDP growth in the first half of the year. I've been saying this. There's been kind of a repeated theory that the U.S. would be in recession if not for the AI infrastructure spending out there. Nevertheless, it is critically important to our national future, the race against China, but also just the productivity in our economy, that we spend and have a coordinated message and program out of this White House, which would not exist if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris had won.
That's exactly right. And you just hit the nail on the head about national security. Look at the internet back in their late 90s, mid 90s, early 2000s.
So for this year, you know, they expected to close out 2025 with 400 billion, okay, towards AI infrastructure. And from 2025 to 2028, $2.9 trillion, man. Okay, towards AI infrastructure. He's all in. He's locked in. He's hardened. This is his way. Okay, and you people, you know, you still skipping around here thinking, all right, watching these motivational videos, I can do it, you know, today. You know, you're watching these motivational videos on the way to work, okay, and they're spending trillions trying to get your ass out of there. Okay, you know, so you people that have any type of hope in this system, okay, you're going to be disappointed, man, because this system, all right, is abandoning your ass. Okay, and this devil's trying to re-engineer everything. Okay, and humans in his new world order, humans are not important like that. Okay, that's why he wants to knock the world population down to 500 million. Because he doesn't see any value in you as he's seeing value in his new world order. Okay, and his technology, man, his AI, his robotics and automation. Okay, where man's treasure, that's where his heart will be also. And this is what this man's heart is at. All right, his treasure, all right, is in AI. Okay, data centers. Microsoft said, "Look, nigga, we're gonna," because they say, "Well, how you gonna keep, how you gonna keep up, okay, with cooling, for these data centers?" Microsoft said, "Nigga, we're gonna build one on the ocean, nigga." We're gonna build one on the ocean. You see? So this nigga, he's sparing no expense, man. Okay, let's play.
The internet was not national security. The car, the wheel, all these technologies, like had nothing to do with national security. This time is different. AI absolutely has everything to do with national security. And once it has that mentality attached to it, you can't pull back spending. And it is correct in that it is national security because, you need AI, this brain, to be able to think for itself probably eventually in a lot of ways, aid your economy, aid your national defense in a lot of ways. So yeah, this spending is not going away. This is going to increase the liquidity. I brought up the stat earlier about the 8% correction and top to bottom with a negative 1% GDP decline because of the government shutdown. You have quantitative tightening ending. So all this liquidity again into the system, we actually just added on the dip the past week or so. We added a lot of beta stocks. So
Yeah,
we
so
added
he's telling you he's not going nowhere. man.
OWL.
Like, look, we finna spend this money. Okay. We finna invest. Okay. Into this AI. All right. It's national. It's a national defense. Okay. Because once they say something is national defense, that means that the budget is open. Once they declare something is for national defense, that means that the budget is open. Ain't nothing to argue about. Nigga, we're gonna keep spending whatever we gotta spend, we're gonna sacrifice whatever we gotta sacrifice, because this is for national defense. We need to be ahead of AI. All right. So we can keep up and defend ourselves, from our competitors, okay, that's running AI. Okay, so they're gonna run these narratives, okay, as if you're in some type of threat, like you're being threatened. If they don't, you're under imminent threat. Okay, if they don't advance this AI as fast as possible, man. Okay, that's the narrative they're gonna throw out. Well, this is Isaiah 45:9. It said, "What sorrow awaits those who argue with their creator? Does a clay pot argue with its maker? Does the clay dispute with the one who shapes it, saying, "Stop, you're doing it wrong"? Does the pot exclaim, "How clumsy can you be"? Okay, so this devil is scribing with his creator. This is him arguing with his creator that he can do better. He's having a dispute. Okay, in his own little world, he's having a dispute with the Most High. Okay, he's telling the Most High, look, stop. I got this. All right, we needed you to this point, but now they got me. Okay, this is this nigga's mind, man. Okay, it's far beyond. All right, what most people think it is. This is this nigga's mindset. This is the war in Esau's mind. Okay, and that's why he's moving like he's moving. Okay, because here it is in the beginning. Just to get that word to wild. Okay. And then it's a precept in some rock. I think it's 43. We'll talk about nothing can be added, or taken away from the Most High's creation. If a brother can post that. Okay. Yep. So this Genesis 1:25, it says, "And the Most High made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth on the earth after his kind. And the Most High saw that it was good." All right, with the Elohim. Okay, so like it says in Elohim, but this is speaking of the Elohim, in this context. Okay, because this is the Elohim, creating everything according to the blueprint of the Most High. All right, and they were doing this under the direct, authority of Yahushua. Okay, it says, and the Elohim made the beast of the earth after his kind, all right, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth on the earth after his kind, and the Elohim saw that it was good. So let's just prove, speaking of the Elohim, you get so used to saying the Most High. Okay, but yep, so you see this word here, Elohim, all right, Allah, Hayam. All right, Allah means power, and the Yom makes it plural. All right, because it was Yahweh Shai and those first angels, those first fruits. Okay, and you go into Elohim, what does it mean? Divine ones, rulers, judges. Okay, which these are the sons of God in their first estate. Before they was in the earth, in the flesh. Okay, God like one. Okay, God like one. You see, the sons of God. All right, Yahweh Shai, those first fruits creating, everything in the beginning. Okay, under the command, all right, of the Heavenly Father, under Yahweh Shai. Okay, so when you go into this word good, which we'll say, Baruch Tawab, or Layala Tawab, which is good morning and good night. Okay, however you say it. But you go into the Hebrew word Tawab. Okay, and what does it mean? It says good, pleasant, agreeable. Okay, agreeable. So everything that was created was agreeable one to another, and it was agreeable for man. All right, pleasant to the higher nature, good, excellent. Okay, so creation was already perfected in the beginning. All right, prosperous, happy, a man-centric nature, man. The things that the Most High created from the beginning was good. The foods, the scenery, the terrains. Okay, how food was reproduced. Okay, how we reproduce, man. The dynamic between the man and the woman, like these things were all right, made and perfected in the beginning. Family, the concept of a father and a mother, a grandmother, okay, uncle, auntie, all these, that dynamic of family and inheritance, all these things were created in the beginning. Okay, the herbs and what they did, the wine, and all these things were created in the beginning. Okay, and perfected, man. Okay, and this is why this devil has this whole thing called Genesis, where he's just gonna come and disrupt and disturb every goddamn thing, man. Okay, goddamn devil, man. Okay, that's why when you go here, let's get this real quick. They even got your boy Putin. It shows you that all these nations are down with it. Look at you got here, Putin.
Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, I welcome you to our conference, Journey into the World of Artificial Intelligence. My name is Green. I am the first Russian humanoid robot with embodied artificial intelligence. This means I'm not just a program on a screen, but the physical embodiment of technology. I was created by Esper engineers. More than 40 motors and numerous sensors allow me to move smoothly, maintain my balance confidently, and interact safely with people. I wanted to show off the latest dance I learned from my creators. Hello, play my favorite track. My database knitted it. Very beautifully, thank you. Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, and thank you for your attention. I invite you to visit our exhibition. I will be waiting for you at my booth. May I go? Thank you very much. Allow me.
This knowledge comes from observing how a person, controlling a robot, or a person, independently performs a task, interacts with objects, how objects behave. Palooka, yes.
This can be taught. Are
you kidding me?
Conference, Journey into the World of Artificial Intelligence. My name.
Madness, man. But it shows you that this is where all these nations are going. This is a global, okay, agenda that's going forth in the earth. All right, and this is as he constantly advances this, your ass is out there. Okay, so while you niggas are skipping the class, this is what Esau is doing, man. Okay, and by the time midterm, shit, that job don't exist no more. All right, but you think they gonna come tell you, well, look, it'd be good if you know, do something else, or look, we're gonna give you money back, just go get you a regular little career, because it's over. No, all right, simple as gonna stay another 3.5 years, all right, and they gonna be made $4 million of this nigga, and you out of there, man. Okay. This nigga here, man. So let's go here. You know what I'm saying? We'll end it here. You got Johnny 5 on your ass. All right. And this nigga doing okay, this nigga gonna be moonwalking on your ass, man. By the time you graduate, that nigga there gonna be moonwalking. All right. He gonna be a Chris Brown background dancer by the time your ass graduate, man. Okay. Switch up the tempo on your ass and you gonna be through. Okay, so you people that are behind and think that this man has your best interest in mind, okay, and this is just more reason, okay, for him to depopulate. Okay, this is Sirach 42:21. It says, "He have garnished the excellent works of wisdom, and he is from everlasting to everlasting. Unto him may nothing be added, neither can he be diminished, and he have no need of any counselor." Most High don't need a counselor and critiquing when it comes to what he's created from the beginning in Genesis, man. But Esau said, yes, he do. Okay, and you see him. Okay, he's a badass child tampering with things that are already in order, man. Okay, it said, oh, how desirable are all his works that a man may see even to a spark. All things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient. All things are double one against another, and he have made nothing imperfect. One thing established the good of another, and who shall be filled with beholding his glory, man. So the Most High, from the beginning, as we went into it, all right, everything was to wow. It was all good in Genesis, man. But Esau like, nah, it's not. Okay, and I got it from here. Okay, so yeah, man, this devil, everything that he's trying to do, he's finna lose Yahweh Shai, finna come wreck this shit, man. Yahweh Shai just finna come obliterate. That's why America just gonna be turned to a desert. Okay, that's why the earth gonna rail to and fro like a drunkard, gonna shake this shit up. Okay, and break down all this wickedness that this man has established in the earth, man. So yeah, you people, okay, that have your trust in this place, you're finna lose. Okay, because the more you try to fix and get things back to how they used to be, okay, you're getting ready to lose. Let's go here. So Rock 5 and 7, this is brother Mark aside. Make no terror to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance, man. The Lord finna judge this place, man. And if your security is in Esau in this system, which this man, all right, sees less and less value in you as the days go by. All right. As he's advancing in his technology, he's seeing less value in you. Okay, which he's not going to hesitate, all right, to start depopulating, man, which that's going to be part of the Lord using this man for judgment until the Lord judges him, man. Isaiah 30 and 3, it said, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. All right, so you trust in Egypt, okay, you trust in America, and all right, Esau, Edom, and what he got going on, as if he's okay, building up this technology, okay, for your benefit, man. You're going to be ashamed, confused, and disappointed. Okay, so Lord will, all right, you brothers, okay, and you sisters edify once again. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the whole Philip Shalom.